Oi, this is the Profanity Gnome, and I'm here to tell you that if you're under 13 years old, fuck off this video! Get the fuck off YouTube! Get your mama to get your dad's cock out of her ears and actually be a parent! This is for adults only! And for everybody else, enjoy the video. And don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below what you think, you fuck buckets! Lord Frieza, please calm down! How dare! How dare! Come out here and face your punishment! Meow? Quiet. Right now it really doesn't matter about the who or the what or the why. Right now the best thing we can do is make our way back to the ship ASAP before he finds me and... What the bloody hell is happening out there? Oh, looks like Frieza's on the warpath. And you know, that's probably bad. Should we stop him? Nothing that we can do. I can't get past his defenses, even though I might be able to do a bit of damage. My Toon Law and natural defenses are perfect for getting around someone as OP as him, but they won't allow me to do any real damage to the guy. Yep, sounds like we both have what the other one needs. What a predicament. Fusion Ha! We are GENPA, and this is Animaniacs, episode 8. We once again find ourselves at the Warner Tower, where Wacko is crying very loudly. Something is definitely wrong with the Warners today, but what could possibly warrant such an outburst? Well, someone had eaten all of Wacko's donuts. ... Dramatic reverb. Taking this extremely seriously, the Warners do some investigation, pulling out all the stops. Police tape, blacklight, racist jokes, but they can't seem to find any clues. Until they wander upon an ant, holding a breadcrumb from the donuts. So after unnecessarily violently blasting Wacko with a pun gun, they follow the ant. And where does it leave them to? Well, the obvious choice. Yeah, his fat ass definitely looks like he could pound out back a few donuts. But he has an alibi. He apparently is on a diet where he eats nothing but dinosaur-based food. Anything that looks like a dinosaur. And after Dot investigates, he's in the clear. But who could possibly be next? Why, none other than the CEO, the strong, independent woman who don't need no man, who sarcastically laughs in their face, creepily like, and makes it look like she's more insane than she is stable enough to run a company like this. You know, actually that explains a lot what that's coming out of Warner Media lately, if this is the representation that Animaniacs has given her. So, with all other options ceased, they decide to go back to the beginning. No, not there, you dunderheads. The beginning of where Wacko got his donuts. So they go to the donut shop, which looks like a hipster paradise that serves gourmet donuts. And while investigating, Wacko decides to order a few more donuts of unusual flavor. But they couldn't find anything. But Wacko got his donuts replaced, so problem solved, right? Well, not really. After eating a few donuts, Wacko goes to sleep. But the episode doesn't really have a conclusion. Who ate his donuts? Well, it turns out Wacko sleepwalks and sleep eats. So he ate his own donuts. He was the culprit all along! Yeah, who didn't see this one coming?
Well, let's see. With all this mindless destruction, I should have hit him by now, right? Well, just to be safe. Bigger! 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 Perfect. Frieza! Frieza! Hi. What the fuck?
Language! So the next episode is Pinky and the Brain once again. We start off with a lab test where Brain is going through several different mice to see which one is the smartest one. For Brain has not given up entirely on his become president to take over the world plan. But in order to make himself look like the best candidate, he's got to have the best first lady. So he takes the smartest of all the lab rats and puts it in the machine that alters their DNA. But he combines several different first lady politicians into the mix to make her the ultimate trifecta of all first ladies. Though admittedly, Brain admits he might have accidentally put too much Hillary Clinton in there. Which, if she's anything like Hillary Clinton, she's already got a few kids in cages, dead people on her conscience, and of course deleted emails, and anyone who asks questions gets suicided. So enough about throwing politics into this. Now let's talk about politics into this. So Brain starts his campaign, pretending to be a senator, again. But everywhere Brain fails to win the public over, it seems that Julia Brain, his new wife, is succeeding. Because she's the ultimate blend of fake face. You know, the whole put on a show to get people to like you, and then all of a sudden, once you're in office, you immediately turn tail and show your true colors. Yeah, kind of like what we got now. Any rate. So, when the polls come in, it turns out, to no one's surprise, Julia Brain is the candidate that everybody wants. Everybody put her instead of Brain. Brain is unamused, but he's anything but unadaptable. As it turns out, he decides to plan around the plan. Instead of ruling as the face, he'll rule from the shadows, like Rasputin and Colonel Sanders. So Julia is the face, Brain is the brain. But it appears that on a debate night, Brain is pushing things a little bit too far. Julia and him have a fight. She doesn't agree with his policies. And Brain planned for this and forced her to obey him through mind control. It's kind of convenient that he's not only okay with her being the face of his party, but also having a brain chip implanted just in case. I don't know, this seems a little bit too thought out for Brain. But at any rate, so Julia Brain is forced to say everything that Brain says. But during the debate, she starts fighting Brain's control, forcing her to go rabid, running amok, and then bursting through the wall, never to be seen by Brain again. So Brain is forced to reconcile, going back to square one to figure out the best plan to take over the world. But that's not where the episode ends. As it turns out, Julia is very much sane, and she has a secret bunker in order to spy on Brain and Pinky for whatever reason. She really does have too much Hillary Clinton in her.
What's going on here? I haven't laid a single finger on you! What even are you?
It's okay. It'll all be over soon. So, we finally have the first curveball of the series in all the Animaniacs episodes, from 1 to now. We finally get a new cartoon. I mean, it's not what we wanted to see the old stuff again. But hey, I'll take anything over Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain. Warner's Brain, Warner's Pinky, Warner's Brain, Warner's Pinky. That just got old. So I'm desperate for anything new they got. So what's this about? The show is called Starbucks and Cindy. The premise is that an evil alien conqueror is going around destroying planets for fun. He made his way to Earth with his armada, and all they're waiting for is his signal to destroy the planet. But before he had the chance to press the button, he gets captured by a girl named Cindy, and is forced to be her plaything. I'm not sure if he's her pet, or her doll, or whatever. But she keeps him locked up real tight, away from the button. So, while the evil alien dude keeps trying to go for his ship and destroy the planet, she is constantly in his way. There's nothing much he can do about it because, well, he's short. He's gray matter size. Actually, it looks a little bit like gray matter too. I mean, if you watch Ben 10 and look at this guy, you might not see too much of a difference between him and gray matter. Hell, they even have the same colored skin. But at any rate. So, what do I think about this? Well, it does have potential, but there's a few things that they should probably course correct first. For starters, whose little girl is voicing Cindy? I mean, I'm not going to be too harsh on her because, you know, it's obvious that it's just a little kid. But at the same time, they could have, you know, gotten somebody with a little bit more range to her. I mean, they mostly use her just for background noise, which is kind of sad. I mean, her and Starbucks barely even interact. It's just her rambling on about random stuff in the background. Doesn't really add anything. It just shows that she's just a little kid. They could have done a little bit more with her. I mean, they did a little bit more with Elmira. They did a little bit more with Mindy and Dot. They could have done more with this character. I mean, if they wanted to go for authenticity with having a little kid, well, good for you, but, you know, it would have been an entirely different experience if Rugrats were voiced by actual babies. Or if The Lion King was voiced by actual lions. Seriously, those are tiger roars. But for the most part, the main focus is definitely on Starbucks and his attempts to get at his button to destroy the planet. It's harmless, simple enough. I give it a 6 out of 10. It's promising. Here's to hoping that Starbucks and Cindy actually do something other than, well, this. Also, work on Cindy's character design. I don't know what happened, but she ugly. She really ugly. And that was Animaniacs episode 8. It was kind of a letdown. Like, first we have the Warner's half. They just did a mystery solving episode, like literally last episode. And those jokes hit a lot harder and a lot better. They had 1 or 2 decent jokes this time around, but overall, this episode was kind of hit and miss with its humor. I don't remember really a single moment where I laughed out loud. Or at least, not laughing like that insane lady did. And it was kind of obvious the mystery where it was going. There wasn't a lot of characters they introduced. And they really need to do more with strong independent woman who don't need no man and Ralph if they're gonna have them in the series at all. They are limited to just brief cameos. They're worth more than that, or at least Ralph is. Ralph has been there since the beginning, and they haven't really done anything with strong independent woman. Do something with her if you're gonna introduce her. I mean, at least the last guy they had actually participated in the plot other than making the Warners feel uncomfortable. Any rate, hit and miss, and they already did this premise last episode. This felt lazy, and considering how many flip-flopping episodes the Warners had this season, they can't afford to be lazy. As for Pinky and the Brain, I'm still not a fan of the political angles that they've been going with, but it makes more sense for Pinky and the Brain to have more political-based stuff than the Warners do. Because, you know, Brain's trying to take over the world. That's politics 101. And the whole ideal of Julia Brain doesn't seem so far-fetched for him. I just wish they could have done a little bit more. Like, this felt more like it belonged as a 20-minute episode, rather than the 10 minutes they gave it. I really wish they would have developed them and their chemistry a bit more. Like, what if she protested against marrying Brain? Because, you know, strong independent woman. Or better still, what if Brain actually started to develop feelings for her, and wanted to back out of being the, you know, ruler of the world to be a devoted husband, only for her policies to rule the world conflicting with his own ideals. So that could have been an interesting conflict. Alas, this is the episode we got. This is what we have to judge. And it was kind of lackluster. Starbucks and Cindy was kind of the big highlight of this episode, only because it's something new, something different, something we haven't seen before. But even if it was something that we haven't seen before, that doesn't make it anything above good or bad. It just makes it something new. It still needs a lot of development from what I've seen. Overall, they might have something. They just need to work out a few of the kinks in development more. And for God's sakes, change the voice actress for Cindy and get a new character model. That looks not finished, I'm telling you. But regardless, that are my thoughts. This was kind of a hit or miss episode with a lot of misses. So with that being said, we're the Cartoon Gentlemen, the Organizers of Chaos, and Vintage Kings. See you next time. We should probably shorten our outro, shouldn't we? Yeah, it is kind of long. And a bit of a mouthful. Okay. Before we go, leave a comment down below. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer Vintage Kings or Organizers of Chaos? Because depending on what you say down below, I'm going to start changing it up to shorten the titles. Yeah, we don't need really long titles, do we? I mean, I have plenty of names, but it does get old trying to work it out with all different people.
Ugh, I never thought I'd see the day where I hate something more than that filthy monkey Goku. But I'll give you this. You provided enough of a challenge for me to experience a more higher form of combat. Now prepare yourself for true ultimate power. When you get to hell, tell Vegeta like a bitch.